We were so eager to see Manchester United take on Liverpool in one of the biggest games in the English football calendar. Sadly though, the game never happened after United fans took their anti-Glazers protest to the Old Trafford pitch. The incident has divided opinion, and we're going to discuss all of it in greater detail. So finally, after 9 years of absolute dominance, Juventus have relinquished their Serie A title to Inter Milan, who became the league champions after 10 years. He might not have lasted at Juventus for long, but Maurizio Sarri is still one of the finest managers in Italian football. AS Roma don't seem to be too happy with Paulo Fonseca at the moment, and the former Shakhtar Donetsk boss might get the boot once another forgettable season concludes for the capital club. Robert Lewandowski might follow Hansi Flick through the exit door, and according to the German media outlets, England appears to be the likeliest destination for the Polish hitman. So, we've got a lot of things to talk about, so how about you subscribe to our channel, press the little bell icon to turn on your notifications, and get ready for your daily dose of all things football. Abraham, a wanted man. While his status at Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel might have hit an all-time low, Tammy Abraham remains one of the most promising young strikers in England. Under Frank Lampard, Abraham was soaring high, but the arrival of Tuchel has changed things drastically. Despite Timo Werner's well-documented struggles in front of goal and Olivier Giroud's lack of game time, Abraham never gets a look in. Now, according to several media outlets, Chelsea have already decided to sell the youngster for a bargain price of £40 million. Well, of course, £40 million is a lot of money, but English players usually cost a lot of money anyway. Reports claim that the likes of West Ham United and Aston Villa are eager to sign the talented striker, but it's the latter who might have an advantage given the West Ham manager's recent statements. David Moyes has said that Abraham's price tag is too expensive for the Hammers to work with. We don't have that money. We don't have that to buy a striker at that price, no. Is that sort of figure our total spend? It may well be, but you never know here. In all fairness, West Ham do need a striker for next season. They might not be playing in the Champions League next season, but the Europa League is a likely possibility. So you can expect the Londoners to make a move for a new striker. And who knows, the club's ownership might even splash the cash for Abraham. Real Madrid dealt major blow. Heading into the second leg of their Champions League semi-final tie against Chelsea, Real Madrid needed their best players to be fit. With the tie tilting in the Londoners' favour at 1-1, Zinedine Zidane knows how difficult it'll be to win the game at Stamford Bridge. The task has become even more difficult after news broke that star centre-back Rafael Varane has been ruled out of the encounter after picking up an untimely groin injury. The Frenchman was replaced at half-time during Madrid's 2-0 win over Osasuna, and now the club's official website has confirmed that Varane will have to watch the game from Spain. That's a huge blow for Madrid, who might suffer defensively a lot against the Blues. Lewandowski future yet to unravel. No one can ever claim to say they know what's going on inside Robert Lewandowski's mind. The Polish striker has been scoring goals for fun for a good part of 10 years, and his current contract at Bayern Munich doesn't expire until 2023. Now, Sport Bild seem to suggest that the player's agent will apply pressure on Bayern Munich to either put together a lucrative contract extension or sell him to a team that can afford his wages, likely in the Premier League. The Munich star remains one of the most lethal strikers on the planet, and after plundering 36 goals in the league this season, might want to put his skills to the test in a different environment. For fans, it will definitely be a dream move. However, it remains to be seen if the veteran striker is going to jump ship. 9 and out for Bianconeri. So, after 9 years of sheer dominance, the Italian Scudetto has left Turin for Milan. It's quite ironic that the same man who started this era for Juventus is the one who is ending it at the expense of the man who was a big part of that era. Antonio Conte's Inter Milan was not necessarily the most exciting side in Italy, but they did well to capitalise on a rather inconsistent chasing pack. AC Milan threatened their title bid momentarily, but as soon as their bid faded away, it became clear that Inter Milan would go all the way. This could also spell an end for Andrea Pirlo's career as the Juventus manager, with the old lady likely to go through a period of extreme turbulence. However, we're not really sure if Inter Milan will have it easy next season. The team's financial issues are well documented, and they might be forced into letting go of some of their star players this summer. Coming back to Juventus, it's perhaps time for them to finally start a transition that they've been avoiding for the good part of 2 years. Cristiano Ronaldo's future is up in the air, and with Champions League football not a certainty for next season, a few players might be sold. Expect Aaron Ramsey to be one of these players. The Wales international has not really convinced during his time in Italy, and he might return to the Premier League. At the same time, the club will be looking to slash down the wage bill further, and will be forced to sell before even considering making a new signing. Testing times lie ahead for Juventus, and we can only hope that they don't return to the era of mediocrity that defined them during the early phases of the current millennium. Roma preparing for life after Fonseca? A 2-0 defeat at the hands of Sampdoria at the weekend summed up a forgettable week for AS Roma. In the midweek, they saw Manchester United score 6 goals past them, and then they fell further behind an already unlikely top 4 place after losing to Doria. Paulo Fonseca started out well, but the Portuguese tactician might be shown the door by the end of this campaign. The Giallorossi are reportedly considering making a move for Mauricio Sarri, who has been on a break after being sacked by Juventus last season. The veteran tactician might not be everyone's favourite coach, but it's clear that he gets the job done. At Chelsea, he won the Europa League, and the last time Juventus won the title was last season, even though he was never appreciated enough. Perhaps a move to Roma could be what both parties need. If that move happens, we expect Roma to become a much more stable outfit. Manchester United fans invade the pitch, but would it matter? Games between Manchester United and Liverpool are some of the most anticipated matchups in the English football calendar. Both sides have dominated English football over the years, and their rivalry is something that adds to the Premier League as a product. So every time these two face off, the build-up is always massive. This time around, there was already a lot of focus on fan protest outside Old Trafford. The club's fans aren't happy with the Glazer family, and that's always been the case. However, things reached a tipping point once the Glazers said yes to the plans for a breakaway league. That move caused a lot of remonstration, and United, along with 5 other English clubs, backed out of the European Super League. However, the team's fans are out for blood, so much so that even the resignation of the much-maligned Ed Woodward was deemed insufficient. The fans want the Glazer family to sell the club. About 1,000 fans were protesting against the owners ahead of the game against Jurgen Klopp's men, but a few managed to access the stadium and invaded the pitch. Videos on social media clearly showed that a lot of these pitch invaders caused property damage, and some were shown throwing broadcasting equipment. These actions forced authorities to postpone the highly awaited encounter until further notice, and an investigation is already underway. Right now, we're not really sure what's going to happen to those who invaded the pitch, but we need to seriously discuss these actions. The whole incident has divided opinion. One group says the club's fans did the right thing and proved how much power a fan can wield. The other group believes that it was a very rash decision, and any potential penalty from the FA and the Premier League is going to cost the club dearly. Alright, here's our take on the whole matter. We saw Roy Keane siding with the pitch invaders and agreeing with their methods. Like many former United players, Roy Keane hates the manner in which the Glazers have exploited the club. Fans, especially those who have been in the terraces all their lives, see the club in a different light. What the Glazers tried to achieve through the Super League was a smack in the face of 100 years of tradition. Local fans will never forgive or forget that. So, we do understand their frustration, and the fans have every right to be frustrated. However, is damaging your own club's property the right move? Don't you think that these criminal actions are borderline extremist? The Glazers are unlikely to be perturbed by a few hundred fans storming the pitch of a club that they happen to own. When they first bought the club, they invested a lot of money in it, and the reason why they bought United was because, unlike many clubs in Europe, Manchester United are a commercial giant. Yes, the debt situation isn't great, but then again, every club has debt these days. United as a brand is a lucrative proposition for investors. The Glazers know the cash cow they're sitting on, and will the actions of a few people change their perception? No. Never in a million years. And that's where the entire thing becomes pointless. The Glazers, for all the criticism they've received, and a lot of that criticism makes sense, they're not going to buckle under pressure. The simplest way for them to get the fans on their side will be to give Solskjaer a war chest for this summer. However, that'll only add to the club's debt situation. At present, no one knows what measures the FA and the Premier League are going to take following the scenes on Sunday. We can only hope that the club doesn't get docked points, because that'll be unfair to the manager and the players who've worked so hard to be in a position where they can call themselves the second best team in England. What we do know for sure is that the Glazers are not going to budge from their position and will treat the entire incident as a minor fracas. What do you think about the Old Trafford pitch invasion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe.